Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Oh, happy Sunday. Starting to feel better about my publication for my computer AI game that I'm writing, and I feel a lot more confident in my networking with others. So I got a message from one of my subscribers. He questioned why I'm all of a sudden having doubts about my solo sexual lifestyle and starting to date again. I gotta point out something. This past week, when I was working on my publication, working on my art show, and had some drama at my other job at the tutoring center, and which I handled very well, by the way. I was able to speak how I feel about things and dispute some of the procedures there confidently, because it was an extra job for me that I just wanted to go and have fun, and that's great. What I really would have loved is to have a life partner to tackle all of this with, right? Because at the end of the day, when I handled the conflict at work and all the logistics of the art show and my publication, a lot of things didn't go right. At the end of the day, I still had to cook dinner for myself, still had to take care of the household. I just wished for a life partner with that. Unfortunately, all of the suitable life partners that I've had in the past wanted a romantic relationship. That's the big problem for me. And so, well, that's a big problem. Now, I'm recently following the news about a drunk driver. So this, unfortunately, this other guy about my age, he had just gotten married, and his new wife was killed in a drunk driving accident on their way home from the wedding. And the drunk driver, a young girl, is saying how she's a victim and all that. And aside from all the problems with that, I just don't get why people drink. So I'm really stressed out this weekend. The last thing I want to do is to then take a mind-altering substance to make it that much harder to handle all the events that are going on this week. Right? That's the last thing I want to do. I can't imagine why anybody, after a week of stress on a Friday night, would want to drink themselves into an oblivion. I mean, I hate the idea. A lot of times sleep deprivation also is very mind-altering. I hate that I have to consume it, but I do it in the name of whatever I need to do, right? I would never sleep deprive myself just to get a high out of it, right? It's a necessary evil, right? Drinking doesn't even do any of that, right? Anyway, it saddens me to see people drink. Unfortunately, I suffered a few deaths of people close to me that in the past year alone. I had two close friends of mine die of overdosing. One on alcohol, the other one apparently on painkillers. I suffered another COVID-19 death amongst my close friends. A friend of mine committed suicide over a long COVID kind of situation, and it just makes me not want to get myself intoxicated so I can make the most out of everything. I just don't understand why people want to then intoxicate themselves to not enjoy what they have. I really don't understand it. It's hard enough to network with the right people. The last thing I want to do is to intoxicate myself to the point that I don't judge people correctly. So I talked about how earlier today I tried to ask a girl out, and I learned she was taken, and that was great because I get to move on from that, and apparently she is glad that I'm looking for connection, and I get to know some of her friends, which is great. There's another girl that I'm thinking about making a move on in the coming week, a distant cousin of Mary Curry. I don't tend to do very well with distant cousins of Mary Curry. They tend to want romance, not that kind of life partner that I'm looking for. But you know what? It's still good practice, and every time I talk to somebody, there's a potential of finding that right one anyhow, so not the end of the world. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.